there, savvy home buyers and sellers. This is Jeff O'Leary, the Village Guru, and in today's episode, I'm going to give you 3 tips for buying and selling in an unstable market. Whether you're a buyer, seller, investor, you're not going to want to miss this episode, so let's go! The real estate market, the ups and downs of the cycle. I think if you've been in the GTA over the past 10 years or even longer, we've all gotten used to where every month home prices would continue to go up. So for home sellers, a lot of times it was looking at your neighbor and saying, oh, they sold for $1 million 2 months ago, therefore let's list for $1,050,000. And for a lot of people, that exact strategy worked. However, from time to time, we have had market cycles. For instance, 2008, we had a dip. Then we had another dip in 2013. Then in 2017 with the foreign buyers tax brought in. And finally at the beginning of COVID, home prices did drop yet again with uncertainty as to what was going to go on, only to rebound even harder due to a lot of things out of the real estate market's control. Now, fast forward to 2022, and here we are. We're dealing with the effects of inflation, and the Bank of Canada and other central banks are rapidly raising interest rates in order to cool down inflation and get some stability back into the market. Now, when interest rates start to rise really quickly, it causes a lot of uncertainty in the real estate market, and what we're seeing is a combination of maybe affordability plus uncertainty as to whether should I buy now or wait 4 months from now. Now, before we continue, I just want to say when it comes to GTA real estate, keep in mind that it's still governed in the long term by the factors of supply and demand. You can watch a full video I made a couple of years ago on it and why I still believe this fundamental is true. However, in the short term, until people get some sense of stability as to what is actually going on, we could see some frothiness in the market. However, it doesn't mean it's all bad. In fact, there are opportunities in every market. So now let's give you 3 tips on how to buy and sell in an unstable market. So the first tip is have a medium to long-term outlook. Real estate is not a stock. You shouldn't be buying a house thinking you're going to sell it next month. In fact, the conventional wisdom out there, which I truly believe, is if you're going to buy a property, you should be looking to hold it for at least 5 years. The reason people recommend that is because that gives it enough time, if the market cycles down and back up, that you'll do fine with your equity. I think people get into trouble when they buy a home and they're forced to sell it at the wrong time. If you don't have to sell, you're not losing because over the long term, real estate tends to rebound. Tip number 2, always look at the worst case scenario. Can you afford to carry 2 homes? For instance, if you go out and buy a home and it's your dream home, and then you put your house up for sale and it takes a while to sell, you could be liable for both homes. If you are unable to afford to carry both homes, then you need to make sure you understand your numbers ahead of time before you make any decisions. Next, you need to look at what is the market currently doing. And that's not just looking at the monthly real estate reports we read in the news from the real estate boards, because they tend to focus on wishy-washy statistics like year over year, which if a market sharply changes right away, it's not going to reflect that because they're comparing the price of this month versus the same time last year. You need to do a detailed analysis, which involves finding someone who can go inside the MLS and crunch the data to look at what's been going on over the last month and maybe even week over week to see what the trend is. See, when you're selling your home, you need to be ahead of that trend. And unfortunately, if prices are going down, going to what the last one sold for might not actually get you your sale. And if the trend continues, then it could actually slide down even further. So make sure you truly understand what is going on in the market. What's the worst case scenario? Maybe I even have to sell for lower. And remember though, if prices are dipping, then that's real estate market wide. So your home didn't go down in price, but the home you want to buy went up in price. Generally speaking, they go down in tandem. So also do this research on the type of home that you want to buy in the future. You actually might be better off. However, the moral of this tip is that you need to understand the worst case scenario ahead of time before proceeding. Which leads me to tip number 3, decide whether you should sell first before you buy. For the last 10 years, most buyers have felt very comfortable going out and purchasing the home they wanted to buy, and then were confident once they got it ready and put it for sale, it was going to sell over the weekend, everything was going to be good, and then nobody was inconvenienced. Now, While homes are still selling fast, you have to understand that it needs to be priced properly for the current market conditions. If you're someone who wants to test the market because you believe there's something special about your home, that's fine. Go ahead and list it. However, if you need to sell that house and you've already bought a new home, you can see where your leverage is going to quickly disappear and you're going to be forced to make drastic price reductions. In that case, I recommend going ahead and selling your home first, because then you don't have to worry. You have a firm deal, a deposit, and then you can go shopping knowing exactly how much money you have, and you'll have the confidence in order to get that home that you want. Now, on the flip side, yes, you may be stuck in limbo where you have a time where maybe you sold your house, but you haven't found your dream house. Now, in my experience, when the buyer's ready, a home always appears. However, you can maybe ask your parents, or you can find some temporary accommodation ahead of time just to know you're comfortable in order to give you that wiggle room to find the house. I would say be prepared for maybe 3 to 4 months of temporary residency. But if you do that, you're going to avoid all the stress that goes along with the uncertainty of possibly owning 2 houses. Well, there you have it. I hope you enjoyed these 3 tips on buying and selling in an unstable market. Remember, there's no good or bad time to buy. The only difference is really do your research and understand what you're getting into ahead of time to make sure you're making the right decision. Good purchases and sales and deals are being found in every market, and this market's no exception. I'm Jeff O'Leary, the Village Guru. Have yourself a great day.